Hello, Commanders fans. Today, we have some hot news you can't miss, so get ready because there's a lot of important information coming your way. Before we begin, we'd like to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the latest news about our Washington Commanders. Don't forget to leave a like, which really strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the team's most passionate fans. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels addresses Terry McLaurin's trade request. "I can't control what he's doing." Daniels is hopeful things will work out between his star receiver and the front office. Contract negotiations between the Washington Commanders and Terry McLaurin have reached an impasse when the star wide receiver requested a trade from Washington. While this negotiation will influence his future with the franchise, McLaurin's quarterback, Jayden Daniels, seems confident he will return to the Commanders' uniform. "I know one day 17 will be out here running, and hopefully soon," Daniels said in an interview with CBS Sports. "I can't control what he's doing with his business or with the front office, things like that. I need to go out there and try to be the best version of myself every day. I just hope one day everything works out and 17 is back out here catching passes." McLaurin's trade request doesn't mean he'll actually be traded. Many famous players have done similar things in an attempt to get their teams to give in to their contractual demands. And after such a strong season in 2024, Daniels wants McLaurin back on his side. The two combined for 1,096 yards and 13 touchdowns, a career high for McLaurin. Last season, McLaurin made his second Pro Bowl and was also named second-team All-Pro, while Daniels was named the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year. McLaurin, 29, has been in Washington since 2019, when he was selected by the Commanders in the third round of the NFL Draft. He has 5 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards and 38 career touchdowns. McLaurin is about to enter the final year of a 3-year contract he signed in 2022, worth up to $71 million in new money. Now, after players like DK Metcalf, 4 years, $132 million, and Garrett Wilson, 4 years, $130 million, have signed new deals, McLaurin wants his own. A trade prospect is making waves around the NFL. According to recent rumors, wide receiver Terry McLaurin may be leaving Washington, and the New England Patriots are the likely destination. It all started after McLaurin, one of the franchise's standout performers in recent seasons, formally requested a trade last week. The request surprised many fans and analysts, considering he has 5 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards and is coming off his best season in touchdowns, with 13. With this in mind, The Athletic analyzed potential destinations for the wide receiver and highlighted 5 teams that could pursue him, including the New England Patriots. Possible Patriots offer. According to an analysis by Chad Graff of The Athletic, the Patriots could offer a third-round pick in the 2027 NFL Draft in exchange for Terry McLaurin. Suggested offer. Patriots receive Terry McLaurin. Commanders receive third-round pick 2027. The interest makes sense within the current context of the New England franchise. During the offseason, the Patriots brought back offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels and added veteran Stefon Diggs as a primary target for rookie quarterback Drake May, a first-round draft pick. Even with these additions, McLaurin could be a significant addition, offering more security and versatility to May's offense. Obstacles to the trade. Despite the logic behind the move, a trade is still seen as unlikely at this point. As Chad Graff pointed out, if the trade had been considered before the draft, the Patriots' interest might have been greater. Now, with Stefon Diggs on the roster and the presence of rookie Jalen Polk and fellow young receiver Javon Baker, McLaurin's arrival could limit the development of talents like Keyshawn Bout and especially Kyle Williams, this year's third-round pick. Another factor to consider is McLaurin's current career trajectory. The receiver is about to turn 30, and his signing would make more sense for a team already in contention for a title. The Patriots, however, are still in the midst of a rebuilding process and may prefer to utilize their ample salary cap space, currently the largest in the NFL, to build a more competitive roster in the coming seasons. McLaurin continues to thrive. Regardless of the uncertainty surrounding his future, McLaurin continues to prove himself as one of the most consistent receivers in the NFL. Last season, the number 17 reached a personal best in touchdowns and achieved the impressive mark of over 1,000 receiving yards for the fifth consecutive season. He also demonstrated a rapport with Commanders rookie Jayden Daniels, which reinforces his ability to adapt to young quarterbacks, a trait that teams like the Patriots could value. The 49ers are expected to trade Brandon Ayuk in a Terry McLaurin deal with the Commanders. Perhaps the San Francisco 49ers and Washington Commanders can resolve each other's issues. The Commanders have a star receiver who wants a new contract and has requested a trade, Terry McLaurin. The 49ers have a star receiver who is still recovering from an injury, but is clearly not the perfect fit for their future plans, Brandon Ayuk. The Athletic suggests the teams simply swap them in a trade. It's a deal that the Athletic's Matt Barrows sees as a very real possibility. Here's what he wrote about the possibility. It's not so far-fetched, considering this scenario was discussed a year ago when Ayuk was the target of a high-profile trade attempt. Ayuk had the Commanders as a top trade target due to his relationship with and admiration for Jayden Daniels. The 49ers likely would have agreed to the request if McLaurin had been part of a trade package, but the Commanders didn't want to part with the receiver. A year later, would they reconsider? Now, it's McLaurin who's causing controversy and whose feelings are hurt. While Ayuk is recovering from a torn ACL on October 20th and isn't expected to be ready for the start of the season, he's also 2.5 years younger than McLaurin and has connections throughout the Commanders' headquarters. He's friends with the quarterback close to Deebo Samuel and was drafted by general manager Adam Peters, who was the 49ers' top college scout at the time. Protracted contract disputes leave bridges burned. Wouldn't both players be happier where there's no smoke? There are definitely two sides to the Ayuk to Washington coin here, which Barrows addresses. The injury complicates matters. It's hard for the Commanders to know exactly what they'll get, both in terms of availability and skill, given that Ayuk isn't yet fully recovered from his ACL. On the other hand, Ayuk's relationships in the building are strong, and that could really help them know exactly how he's healing. McLaurin would seem like an obvious signing for the 49ers, even though he's older than Ayuk. San Francisco just paid Brock Purdy, and yes, they would have to shell out a fortune for McLaurin. But that's the kind of deal a team needs to make to sustain its starting quarterback. McLaurin, an Ohio State player, was already a star long before Jayden Daniels came along, and he finally got the chance to show how good he could be with a real quarterback throwing the ball. He would immediately become the Bay Area's top receiving weapon and give the 49ers a chance to return to the playoffs. It's a fun and provable trade, should it come to fruition.